Hi guys. It's been a hot minute since I've been live, so I want to make sure that Facebook hasn't done anything weird, like change the orientation of my phone so that I'm cockeyed or whatever. So I'm looking on my iPad. I appear to be landscape mode, so that's good. That's the mode I want to be in. So anyways, like I said, it's been a hot minute. As some of you know who followed me for, I think I did some Facebook Lives every month for like 6 months, and then I had a lot of issues with my mother, and I had to travel a lot to take care of her and to get her kind of set up in an assisted living facility, which we have done. Fingers crossed. She settled in there finally. She has fallen a couple times, but thankfully she hasn't injured herself. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm so excited to be back. As a lot of you may know, I attended the On-Stage Stampin' Up! Basically convention last week. I was gone from home for an entire week. I think my family survived. There was no laundry done while I was gone, though, so I did do a lot of laundry after I got home. But I had the most amazing time with 6,000 of my closest friends, my Stampin' Up! Friends. Hello, Linda. Hello, Mary Ellen. Thank you guys for welcoming me back. I'm so excited to be back. I'm hopeful that this is going to be the beginning of my weekly Facebook Lives again. Now, of course, next week is Thanksgiving, so I won't be here next week, but we'll go with the weeks after that. So hopefully that will work out, and this is a decent time for everyone. I think it's going to work out for me. Sometimes it's kind of hard with my kids having after school activities, but my daughter does drive, so she can always pick up the other kid. So that's good. So back to the on-stage event. It was very exciting for me because as you know, I'm a demonstrator, so I have people on my team, people that sign up under me to be demonstrators, and I love that. I welcome everyone to sign up under me to become a demonstrator because it's so much fun. You get a discount on your supplies. You get to order things early, which my pre-order just came like an hour ago, so I'm going to be able to show you guys some of the stuff from the upcoming occasions catalog. I have some swap cards to show you that I got from some of my team members and some of my friends, Dina and Kelly. We all had our teams together, so there was about 36 of us total that hung out together while we were at the on-stage event, and it was so exciting to meet everyone. A couple of my gals from Florida came, Kathy and Charlene. Hi, if you guys are on here. A couple of my gals from New Hampshire, Gail and Denise. Hi, girls. My dear friend Kay from Casper, Wyoming, and my namesake Barbara, who lives in Minnesota. So those are the girls from my team that went. I got to meet all of them. A couple of them I had met before, but we just had so much fun, you guys. Oh my gosh, I can't tell you how much fun it was. Talking till all hours of the night, having some fun food, seeing all kinds of fun Stampin' Up! Stuff. It was great. So while we were there, we did get our copies of the Occasions Catalog and the Celebration Brochure. Now, I can't legally show you anything, the inside pages in this, so I will not be doing that because I don't want to get in trouble. But there's amazing, amazing stuff in here. And like I said, I did get my pre-order. Actually, it's called a product purchase premiere because I was at the on-stage event. So I got to order a select number of items early as a perk for attending that event. So that was really fun. So I did get those, and I do have them here. And I do have some swap cards, but I'm going to wait until I flip the camera to show you the swap cards and I think the stuff, because it just seems like this mode, it flips things around, words are backwards, and I think it's just easier to see with the forward-facing camera. Or is it the rear-facing camera? I don't know. Whatever. This is selfie mode. Whatever's not selfie mode is the mode that I want to show you all the stuff in. So, yeah. So, as some of you may know, we have a really cool promotion going on in November called the Snowflake Showcase. It has a set of snowflake dies that are amazing that I'm going to actually use on 1 or 2 projects today. I think 1. Then it has 2 stamp sets in the showcase and a set of really cute snowflake embellishments that are really fun. So that's a special for November. I also have my own special for November. And let me just lean over here and kind of grab what it is. My special for November is, if you order $50 from me using my host code, which will be on the table when I flip the camera, then I'm going to gift you with 9 sheets of our Glimmer paper. And so you get 8 sheets from this collection here, the Joyous Noel. So we have the Copper, the Merry Merlot, and the Tranquil Tide. And then you'll get a bonus sheet because I have some extra fun Glimmer papers. And you'll get one of these fabulous sheets. I have 2 different shades of the pink, 2 different shades of green. We have some of the white with the green flecks. We have the pumpkin pie. And so you get 9 full sheets, or full sheets, they're 6x6s, but that's a full sheet of glimmer paper for your $50 orders. Oh, there's Shelly. Hi, Shelly. I got to hang out with Shelly last week. It was so exciting because Shelly's amazing. Mwah, love you. And so then you'll get free glimmer paper from me for your orders. So, what else can I tell you? I talked about how much fun we had joining my team. I think I'm going to be done with this kind of blah, 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 blah that I kind of do. And I told you about my mom. Oh, there's one more thing that might happen while I'm live here. Unfortunately for me, in my basement, I do have a bit of a wasp problem. And just saying it makes my skin crawl. I've had a problem for a couple of years now. And I don't know where these dang things are getting in to my basement, but they are. And I did have a guy come last week. He searched, because I have a drop ceiling in my stamp room. And so he felt like they were getting in from the outside. They were coming into my house, and they're in my stamp room, which is the ridiculous thing that I absolutely hate, because I'm down here all the time. So I'm just sitting down here working, and all of a sudden I'll have a card on my desk, and there'll be a nasty little wasp head sticking out of it, and it just freaks you out and grosses you out. So I have my vacuum cleaner right behind me, just in case I spot one, because I like to suck them up in my vacuum, because I'm kind of mean like that. But anyway, so he came and he sprayed like my drop ceiling with whatever this stuff was, because he said he was up there, he couldn't find the nest anywhere, but there had to be one because they were just, oh my God, they were everywhere. So he sprayed, and that seemed to really help a lot. I hadn't seen any all summer long. Well, then a couple weeks ago, I saw one, because I have lights on my ceiling that have those kind of plastic lens covers, and so I can see them, because I think they're looking for someplace that's light and warm. So they end up on these lens covers. So I can see them. So I can watch them. I can watch them die, basically, is what I can do, which is, but a dead wasp is better than a live wasp flying around my head. Anyway, so today, well, last night, I found one on the floor. So somehow he got out of the ceiling. So I sucked him. My piece gone. And then today, up on one of my lenses, there are there's 2 dead ones, and then there's 2 live ones crawling around up there. So sometimes they get out, and then they start flying around. Ugh. Anyway, if I freak out, you'll know why. So, moving on from that wasp talk, we'll hope that they just stay up there and don't come out. So I need to call the guy again and say, please come spray. Or he actually came a couple weeks ago, and he found a spot outside that he thought was where they were getting in, so he plugged that up. So I don't know if these ones that I'm finding were already in here, and now it's getting cold, and so they're trying to find my warm stamp room lights. But anyway, go find warm lights somewhere else, like someone else's house would be great. So anyways, I'm going to flip the camera, and then I'm going to show you the swaps from our amazing team, and then I'll show you some of the products from my product purchase premiere, and then I will stamp, because that's why everyone's here, right? Okay, so let's hope this works. We got her flipped. That's going to bother me if that's all crooked and cockeyed. I don't know if it'll bother you guys, but it'll really bother me. And since I'm the one doing the work here, it has to work for me. Okay. So, what did I do with my box of swaps? Here we go. Now, I didn't get them all out. I just grabbed some randomly just to show you guys. So we're going to start out with this really awesome one from Patty Skiba. And now Patty is a gal on Kelly's team, and I got to meet her and hang out with her, and she's amazing. And this card is gorgeous. It's Blackberry Bliss in white with the quilted folder and the flourish die cut, some ovals, and it's just so pretty. So fabulous job, Patty Skiba. You rocked it, girl. Okay, next we have a card from Mrs. Andy Bickett. She just got married, so it's fun to say Mrs. Bickett to her. So she did an amazing card. She is one of Dina's girls, and so she's got this tree cookie on here from the Rooted in Nature, some of the, what is this, First Frost paper, and then some ribbon, fresh fig, and then some things, and it's so precious. So very nice job, Andy. I love it. Then we have a card from Shelly, who's watching, or maybe she's watching, maybe she quit watching because she didn't want to hear about wasps, because honestly, who wants to hear about that? Blech. Anyway, this is Shelly's card. This is also amazing. She's got the subtle folder on there. She's got the gorgeous petal pink and white baker's twine. She's got some of the fun stitched, what is this thing called? A die cut, and then the petal palette where she did some awesome coloring. So beautiful card, Shelly. Thank you. I think I'm going to kind of maybe move this out just a little bit so I can push this back. Like I said, it's got to work for me since I'm the one working here. Oh, I know, but me, I need to push it back. Oh, there we go, Barb. Yeah, it's been so long since I did Facebook Live, I don't even know what I'm doing. Good grief. Okay. Next, we have a card from Gail, and Gail is one of the gals on my team from New Hampshire. Hello, Gail, if you're watching. And look at this gorgeous, gorgeous watercoloring she did here. So she embossed this image, and then she watercolored around it, added some die cut, one of those amazing die cuts, a little bit baker's twine, and the sentiment, and then she did stamp on the background also. So that is a fabulous card. Way to go, Gail. Moving on to a no-name card. I have no idea whose card this is. There was no name in it. Hold on while I do a wasp check. We're good. And so we've got the lovely Rooted in Nature tree here with some watercoloring around it, some of our fun ribbon and some baker's twine, and then we have some of these fun little circles, and then the Christmas paper. I think it's the farmhouse, festive farmhouse, something farmhouse. Anyways, farmhouse paper. So if that's your card, you got to let me know because I can't thank you if I don't know whose card it is. Okay, so this is from Joan, and Joan is, I think, under Dina, under someone else. Under Beverly, maybe? It doesn't matter. Anyways, Joan did an amazing card. I love these two colors that she has here. She's got the Pool Party and the Night of Navy, which are great together. Got the nice, big, bold sentiment right there in the middle. And then look at all, she had to do 36 of these cards. So look at that. She had to stamp 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Let's say 22 flowers. So 44 flowers, counting the 4 on here. 36 times. So that is a serious labor of love, Joan. Thank you so much. And then we have another one who I don't know who made this, but I love this. It's so simple. I love how she did the gal here pregnant and added the note. What is this, a note? No. I can never remember the names of these things when I'm live, but it's one of our tag punches. And then you can just cut that one in half to make it extend out a little bit. And we've got some of the shimmer ribbon. And then it says, welcome little one, with the marble background. So super fun. Okay. Then we have a card from one of my girls, Kathy. And I think she said she cased this from Kim Vogel. So great job, Kim. Great job, Kathy. And this uses, something Bethlehem. Boy, you think I would have looked this up before I went live, but I didn't. So you're just going to have to deal with me not knowing what I'm talking about. I know this is silver glimmer paper for the star here, so thumbs up for me for knowing that. And then I love how she's got the 2 rows of the buildings here, and then of course Mary and Joseph popped up there on a dimensional. So very nice job, Kathy, and thank you, Kim, for the inspiration. And I just dropped stuff on the floor, so let me pick that up. Okay, moving on. I have one from Charlene, who is also one of the gals on my team, who lives in Florida. So her and Kathy drove down to Orlando together, and it was the first time I met her, so that was really fun. So she's used the Wishing You Well stamp set and stamped the like wheat image in gray, and then she overstamped these little flowers in Mary Merlot, and then you can kind of barely see that little tiny bit of shimmer in each of the flowers, and I think that's with our shimmer paint, so that's really cool. Thank you, Charlene. And then we have a card from the lovely Amanda, who was on Dina's team, and she did a lot of fun with the flowers here. I love this with the wood grain paper. And then look at those fun sequins that we have, those adhesive back sequins. And this is always a great way to do a sentiment where you stamp it and then you just cut it apart. So it's really fun. It just adds a little bit of interest. You don't have to, it doesn't have to be perfect. You can make them cockeyed. They don't even have to be cut out perfectly. So it's a super simple way to add a sentiment to something. So keep that in mind, girls. And guys, if there's any guys watching me, who knows? Could be. Okay, moving on, we have a card from Jenna. And Jenna was hilarious, and she is also a girl on Dina's team, and we had a lot of fun with Jenna. In fact, Dina and I rode with Jenna from the airport. Dina and I, it was our very first Uber ride. So Jenna kind of held our hand and showed us how to do the Ubering thing. So then we were Uber pros, and we Ubered all over Orlando, and it was great fun. So she's got some of that great Share What You Love Designer Series paper. The flower from the, of course I can't remember that either, but it's a flower set and it has a matching punch, obviously because it's punched out. And then we have shimmer spray all over that white panel. Not sure if you can see that, but it's super pretty. So thank you, Jenna. All right, moving on. Then we have one from my friend Kay, who is on my team and who lives in Casper, very close to me. She did this gorgeous card with the Dashing Deer dies, and you can see that she did paint these with the white shimmer paint, so they're really sparkly and fun. And then she's just got a light bit of sponging in the back there. We've got the trio, detailed trio punch in the corners, some of the checkered a Night of Navy ribbon and the swirls and curls folder. So thank you so much, Kay. Appreciate that. And then we have one from Denise, who is in New Hampshire with Gail, one of my girls. And this is that big tag die. And of course, it's not called the tag die. Hello, Catherine. Nice to see you on here. Thank you for joining me tonight. But it's a die and a stamp set. So the stamp set, you stamp it and it makes all these tags. And then you have the die that cuts all the tags. So she stamped the whole thing, and then she stamped it again and then cut these little guys out and popped them up. So you can add a little bit of interest that way, which is a lot of fun. And then she's got some of that, so what is it called? I just said something about it yesterday, because I actually made a card with this stuff yesterday. And in fact, I'm going to go get it right now because it's pretty amazing, I must say. It's the washi tape, and it's in the holiday catalog. And all I did on this was lay a bunch of washi tape, add some gold trees, and a sentiment from the host set in the back of the holiday catalog. So super simple Christmas card. So Denise used that washi tape and did a fabulous job. So thank you, Denise. Oh my gosh, I think my friend Dee from Billings, Montana is on here watching. Hello, Dee. Nice to see you. Then I have a card from Barbara, one of my girls who lives in Minnesota, and she used the Graceful Glass DSP, the vellum, and colored on the back of it. And then look what she did with the with this doily. She weaved, I don't even know what the right word is, weaved the Call Me Clover ribbon in there all the way around that whole pearlized doily. Isn't that cool? So that is definitely a fun thing to do, and you could do it with any color. That would just be amazing. So thank you, Barbara, for the card and for the tip. All right, and the last one I have in here is from Tara. She's another gal on Dina's team, and she did this fun card for us. We've got the quilted folder here, the Celebrate die, and just a random piece of Glimmer paper back there. But that just adds so much to the card. The sparkle is amazing. Got some of that black washi tape in the back there. And then again, she just cut apart the sentiment, so you can do whatever you want with it. And then some rhinestones. So that was some fun swapping with all those girls. We had a pizza party, and we had some Oreo cookies, and we just had so much fun. So now I'm going to grab my pre-order box, and I'll just pull out some stuff and just kind of randomly show you. Like I said, I can't show you the inside of the catalog, but I can show you what's in the catalog if I own it in my hot little hands. So this is, we have a man set in there called Geared Up Garage, and this is the paper that goes with that set. So let's just see, we'll just pull some out of here. So this is for all those guys in your life that are into cars, I guess, since it's called Geared Up Garage. It's kind of car, motorcycle themed. So this is going to be a lot of fun for all those guys in our lives. Double-sided, love the dark on the back of those papers. And I have seen where somebody cut out this car and put it on a card. So you could make a bunch of those, and that would be pretty simple. So I do like that. And then my friend Erica is super excited because there is, she's calling it a Mustang. There's a car in the stamp set, and she thinks it's a Mustang. So let's hope she's right, because that would be cool. Okay, enough of that paper. What else do I have? Oh, I have this butterfly punch, and I actually ordered the bundle, the punch and the stamps. But the stamps were not in my box, so I had to call Stampin' Up. They're, of course, going to send me the stamps. So, but right now I can show you the punch. Ooh, glare. Awful. Ooh, you can maybe see my on my shirt through this. Anyways, so it's a butterfly punch, and so some of the stamps obviously are large, some of them are small. So I wish I could show you, but I can't because I don't have it. Boo-hoo. So that's going to be fun. We do have some ribbons and some trims. Super fun. We have this Calypso Coral Shimmer ribbon, which, oh my gosh, that's going to be amazing. And then we have a Valentine's set in the holiday catalog, and this is the ribbon that goes with that. It's a duo. All My Love ribbon combo pack. So isn't that fun? Yay. And of course, there's some designer series paper that goes with that too. That's going to be really awesome. And then we have this metallic and black thin ribbon that kind of goes with that Geared Up Garage. Hello, Lynn and Sheila. And then this is some white jute, or no, what are they calling it? Flax ribbon. So it's white, so that's going to be pretty fun too. And then some Old Olive Baker's twine. Now there's other things in there. We weren't able to order, the entire catalog. We had a select list of stuff we could choose from. So I just kind of pick and choose what I wanted to get. So I'm just kind of randomly showing you guys some of those things. So here we have some new adhesive backed sequins, the Gingham Gala adhesive backed sequins. And look, there's tiny little flowers. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited about that. Let me open this up. Ugh. Ooh, look at that. I see green in there. That excites me. Well, let's just tear it up, because what do we care? We can show you guys. Ooh, look at that. So pretty. Ooh, and the iridescent ones. Oh my. The purple ones, yes. Yellow. And then the iridescent kind of pink corally ones. So those are going to be a lot of fun also. And I love the fact that they have flower shapes with them. Those are so cute. Right, now I have a mess to clean up. And you know, I don't like messes. I'm kind of anal about that kind of stuff. Okay, what else do we have? We have some teeny tiny little buttons that are just awesome because they're flat. So you can actually add them to projects. And they're not going to add a bunch of bulk to your cards. So they won't cost you anything extra to mail. So that's going to be super fun. Ooh, I see Kathy. Kathy, I just showed your swap card. It was amazing, and we all loved it. And it was awesome meeting you, too. Okay, so here's the embellishments for the geared up garage. We have these tiny little wrenches and these tiny little keys. Aren't those adorable? I know, right? So exciting. We have some other little fun dots that are multicolored. We have some adhesive hearts that we can color with our Stampin' Blends markers to make them any color we want. That's going to be awesome. What else do we have? I have a couple of my Valentine sets. So we have the Forever Lovely, and I've got a die set to go with that. Meant to Be, and a die set to go with that. We have the Beauty Abounds and the Butterfly Thinlits. So we have a Butterfly Punch and a Butterfly Thinlits. How do I get into this? Right here. So that's going to be super amazing because I am a huge fan of butterflies. And when we retired our butterflies last year, I was so sad I wanted to cry. But look at this amazing die here, you guys. It's one gigantic die. If I can get it off here, you can see it. There is a trick to this if you guys aren't aware. You can take your heat tool and kind of heat up the glue that holds the die on, and it'll release a lot easier. So look at that. Look at that amazing thing. And it's so detailed. Oh my gosh, I can hardly wait to use it. I am excited. Okay, so we've got the butterfly dies. We've got the stamp set that goes with it. What else do we have? These are 2 sneak peek set celebration sets. Get a quick look. They're coming. Frogs are adorable. And then this fun cupcake set. There's other ones too, but we didn't get to, like I said, we didn't get to order everything. So we kind of had to pick and choose. And I didn't order everything I could just because, you know, got to be a little bit wise. And then we have a polka dotty folder. Can you guys tell what that even looks like? That's going to be kind of fun too. I'm excited to use that. And then we have a bunch of Designer Series papers. So maybe I'll open those up and show them on my blog here one of these days. But we have a bunch of Designer Series paper too. So yay. Okay. So enough of that. Oh, here's my host code for November if anybody wants to place an order. Just saying. Okay. Throw that on the floor. Move my chair out of the way because I am a stand-up stamper. And I don't sit when I stamp because, I don't know, I can't see. If I'm standing, I have a really good bird's eye view of what's going on. And I got to do a wasp check. And we're good. Okay. What are we going to start with? We'll start with this. So I had my club this morning, and my gals were here, and I showed them the card that I was going to make for you guys tonight. And they were very excited to see it happen. So here we go. So we are going to use the Serene Garden stamp set along with the Garden Scene framelits. And here's my little cheat sheet of the dies. So you get this die here that kind of cuts out. So the dark blue is what was cut out, and then I stamped the light blue underneath. We have the flowers and the dove and a butterfly. And then we also have a die that does this really cool embossed piece in here, and here it is where it's embossed and cut. So you can emboss it and then you can cut it and have those things peek through. And I'm actually working on an online class for this right now that's going to be released in December. So the class is going to have 8 cards plus a bonus card. And online means there aren't any supplies that'll go along with the class. It's online only. I charge $20 for them, and you get the PDF file for all 9 cards. You get a video for every card, a picture of the cards, and then a bunch of random samples of cards that I've gotten in swaps or stuff like that. So the classes are a pretty good deal. So keep that in mind. I'll be coming out in December. All right, so let me get my paper supplies here. So I have a window sheet, just a scrap of a window sheet, just big enough so that I can fit my dove on it. And I have a dove that I cropped out of our, what do we call it? It used to be called Dazzling Diamonds Glimmer paper. It's called something else now, and I can't remember, but this is it. And then I have a piece of Whisper White where I did run through to take the bird out of that. I don't need this piece, so I'm just going to kind of toss that aside. And then I have some Bermuda Bay, some basic black, and some Pool Party. And let's get some measurements here because I know you guys are going to want some. So the white layer is 3.5 by 4 3/4. Yes. My Pool Party layer is 3 and 11/16. 3 and 11/16 by 4 and 15/16. So basically when I cut all these layers, I started with this one and it was 3.5. So then I increased 3.5 by 3/16 of an inch. So not a full 1/4 of an inch, but a little bit more than an 1/8 because I wanted a little bit more than an 1/8 to show the layers. So everything is 3/16 larger. So 3.5, 4 3/4, 3 and 11/16, 5 and 15/16. No, that's not even right. 4 and 15/16. Almost 5. 4 and 15/16, 3 and 11/16. And then the black is 3 and 7/8 by, I think, 5 and an 1/8. And then a standard card based 8.5 by 5.5 folded in half. So where these are all going to be layered together, this is going to be on the front. So the first thing we need to do is do something with our dove. And we're going to use Stays-On because I'm stamping on a window sheet. And I'm going to bring in, a really ugly piece of cardstock. And it's so ugly, in fact, that I'm going to change it because it's going to be super distracting to have that on there. So we're just going to bring in just some random scrap that I have. Okay. And I'm going to put my window sheet on my random scrap. And then I'm going to ink up my dove with my Stays-On pad because I'm using a window sheet. And Stays-On is the only ink that we sell that is permanent on a window sheet and will not smear and stuff. So go ahead and ink this up. And then we're just going to stamp it on the window sheet. And when you do this, you want to be very deliberate with your placement. And then just press down on it. You don't want to wiggle it because the window sheet is slick. So your ink from your stamp can easily slide around on there. But if you do that, then it will look like crap. So just be very deliberate, press it down, hold it into place. I don't think you can even tell what I did there. There it is. And just hold it for a few seconds and let it go. So I did one earlier. I want to make sure it's dry when I turn it over so it doesn't like bleed all over my paper. So, but it's the same thing, Stays-On and the dove. And I am going to use my Stampin' Blends, my Bermuda Bay Stampin' Blends to color in. So you can see this is the side that I actually stamped on. And then this one, I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to actually color on the back side of this, okay? Start with my lightest one here. And I'm going to use the bullet tip. And so I'm just going to kind of pull the color down on his head, around his body here. Trying to stay in the lines, but stamping live, sometimes I don't because I'm wearing my glasses and I can't really see that great with these glasses on. I still have my same broken glasses, you guys. I just have not been able to find some time to go and get my new ones. So I still struggle. Okay. So I've got the light done on there, and now I'm going to open up the dark and we'll do the wings. And this will just take a few seconds to dry on the back here. Whoops, and if you kind of screw it up, you can kind of lightly tap it with your finger, and that will kind of blend the ink a little bit. Sometimes as you're doing this and you're dragging the ink, you'll get like really noticeable lines. And I don't really like that because I'm a little bit anal. And so, or I might get too much on there, but actually, I'm going to bring in my color lifter because it's basically like an eraser. I'm not even kidding. I discovered this out because this was my swap, a different swap that I did for on stage, and I had to make 36 of these. And there's a piece of hair, gross. So if you just take your color lifter, you can just remove the color that might get anywhere that you don't want it. And then you can just kind of scribble it off and it will put the ink on your paper instead. So I'm just going to go here and get that off because I kind of made a mess, went outside the lines. Oops. Okay. So now I'm going to bring this white piece back in that I die cut the bird out of it. And I am going to, I can do it upside down. So I'm going to lay the bird. So I just wanted to see the whole bird through the negative space there. And then, oh my, where is my, well, we can use snail, that's fine. So hold on, I'm going to add a little bit of snail kind of around my bird here. So that when I put my window sheet down, it will stick to there. It'll stick to that. Okay. So again, I can see, you know, I can see through this, so I can see where I need to place it. Of course, somebody with better eyes would be able to place it a little bit better than me. Okay, so I have some hanging off, no big deal. I'm just going to grab a pair of scissors and I'm just going to cut that off. Okay. And I have some hanging off over here as well. Same thing, we're just going to cut that off. Okay. So we have our bird in the negative space, and I see that the tail is a little bit crooked. So, but because I've used snail, it's easy to pick up that window sheet and replace it. Okay, so that in and of itself isn't that cool, right? But where's my glimmer paper? So I have my glimmer paper bird here, and I'm just going to place that over the top so it covers the whole hole. And I'm going to use a little bit of Scotch tape. So I'm going to find where it's covered, all the space there, and we're just going to tape that up. And then we'll tape the tail on. And now look. Oh yeah, I'm not even kidding. Oh my gosh, Lavon, thank you for reminding me. You guys share this video on your own page, your personal Facebook page, because everyone that shares it's going to go into the drawing for all the cards when I'm live again 2 weeks from today. So share, share, share. I love that. And then someone's going to win all the cards that I make. So this is one of them that you're going to win. So now I need, where did I get that? Hold on really quickly while I find my sentiment. Here it is. My sentiment comes from Hold On to Hope. And it's right here. I need a block. Come here, block. No. That one's too small. We'll go with this one. All right, so I'm going to let me get this lined up. We used to sell these grid sheets, and I got really used to having them on my blocks, and so I still have them on there, even though you can't get them anymore, so my apologies. All right, so we're going to ink this up with our Stays On pad. Get that nice and inky. And you could use Memento. It doesn't matter what ink you use for this. Any black you have is fine because it's just going ink. Oh, you know what? I'm kind of concerned now. Sometimes when I use Stays On, it sticks on my paper. You know, we're going to go for it. If it ruins it, well, it's a hard life, right? Yay, it worked. Okay, good. So we have our sentiment on there. Very cool. I know, right? Then I have, I don't know if I can open up this package. I stamped the same image in Bermuda Bay as well as Pool Party, just on some random scraps. This was all part of my swap process here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to trim out some of these words, and I'm going to overlay them over the top of the black words just to give a little more interest to the card. So I'll have that in the Pool Party. Then we'll have the Carry You in the Bermuda Bay. Do I want? I think I'm going to cut that off. I'm talking about the semicolon on there. I don't. Oh, I probably should have left it. Now I'm going to be mad at myself. We'll see. Okay, so we'll have the Carry You. And I should have done this before because now you guys get to have so much excitement watching me fussy cut words, right? Okay. And then this one, Sustain You and Rescue You. Okay, so then all I'm going to do is just add a little bit of glue and put these words on there. It'll just add a little more fun, I think, to the project. Okay. Get my glue ready here. And I just thought of something that I need. I need my Take Your Pick tool. And here it is. Okay, so let's add a little bit of glue. That might be too much. We don't want it to squirt out all over. So I may just use my finger blot some of that off. Rub my fingers together and get that off there. Okay. So, first of all, we'll just put this Rescue You on there because that's the first one I picked up. Like so. And we have Sustain You. This is a really nice sentiment. I really like this. And Carry You. Whoops. Do any of you guys have this one? This Hold On to Hope? It's a great one. And the dies that go with it, the crosses, are amazing. Ugh! Do you ever do that? Drop your paper into the glue. Brilliant plan, Barb. Okay, so we have that. So now we are going to, I think I used dimensionals. Where's my dimensionals? I'm going to add some dimensionals back here. And so we'll use dimensionals to add the first layer onto the card here. Whoops, get off there. My nails are kind of barely starting to grow. Some of you have watched me before, you know I don't have any nails. Well, they're kind of starting to grow. So I don't know what's going on with that. Obviously, I'm not chomping on them or something anymore. Okay. And then we'll just add some liquid glue here for our black layer. Okay. Oh, I forgot to do something. Well, it's washi tape. It should be all right. Okay. I wanted to run a strip of washi tape down the side here. We have a set of these washi tapes in the catalog. They're all black. I mean, black patterns. I'll have to just trim that off. Well, let's hope this works. Eek. Yeah, maybe we can just shove it under and tuck it. Oh, yay! That worked out good. Okay. So never mind, it wasn't a mistake. It worked out fine. But those of you that have watched me before know that I do that kind of stuff constantly. Okay, somebody's talking to me. People are sharing it. Yay, thank you guys. I appreciate that so much. Okay, so here is the card. There's one more thing I could do to it, except I don't know where my sequins... Oh, yes, I do. Here they are. So I'm going to add some black sequins. So I'll just kind of put a little tiny dot of glue here. Come out of there, glue. When I'm adding dots of glue, you want to be super careful because you don't want a big old blob of it. Because then when you go to stick your sequin on, a lot of times then it squishes out all over and makes a gigantic mess. So that's what my kids say is no bueno because they're, my son especially, he's in Spanish right now. So I guess he's trying to speak a little bit of it. And that's an easy phrase. No bueno. Whoops. And I'm using my Take Your Pick tool again to add these little sequins. And I need another one. Oh, there's one right there. So these are the metallic sequins. There's black, copper, silver, and then the iridescent white in this container. So that's really fun. Get that one back in there. Okay, so here it is. It's done. It's a little crooked, but I have another one. So I won't send you a crooked one. I'll send you one that's not crooked. But when you're stamping on the fly, sometimes that happens. So anyways, card is done, and someone's going to win this along with the other things that I make. So let me kind of clean up my stuff here, and we will get ourselves prepared for the next project. Okay, I don't need that, I don't need that, I don't need that. Oh, I have 2 pairs of scissors. Apparently one wasn't enough for me today. Okay, we're going to clean all that up. And throw that on the floor. Okay, I think this is kind of cool. This is another little kind of technique-y card, and I hope you guys like this. While I was on stage, my very dear friend Lori Krause gave me a swap card, and she told me how she... Well, I wonder if I can find that. Bear with me. I'm going to look really quick in one spot, and if it's not there, then forget it. Okay, it was in the one spot, so now I will show it to you. Okay, so this is the card she gave me at On Stage, and I don't know if you can tell by looking at this, but it's embossed, so it's heat embossed. So it was stamped in Versamark, the dandelions, and then it was heat embossed with embossing powder. And now what she did was she used silver and this lovely lipstick, right? And she put it in a mortar and pestle. Is that what those things are called? Where you grind like herbs. And she ground the two colors together. So they were basically like one color, which turned out to be this amazing kind of, I wish you guys could totally tell how awesome this is. In real life, it's friggin' amazing. So I kind of wanted to piggyback on Lori's idea, but I didn't want to, I don't have a mortar and pestle, so I couldn't do what she did. So I just decided that I was just going to mix some colors together and see what happens. So I mixed together out of that, what did I just do with it? Right here. So this is our in-color stack of embossing powders. We've got the Call Me Clover, Lovely Lipstick, Pineapple Punch, Grapefruit Grove, and the Blueberry Bushel. And it comes in this cute little container with this fancy little lid. And they're a little bit smaller than our standard size embossing powders, but there's plenty in there. You'll probably never use it all. So I thought if I used silver and Blueberry Bushel, and then if I threw in some glitter, I might be able to make a super cool embossing powder. So I took an old embossing container that I had, and that's exactly what I did. I just took a little like taster spoon from Baskin Robbins and put like a half of a scoop of the blue, half of a scoop of the silver, and half of a scoop of the glitter, and I just kind of mixed it all together. And so we're going to use that as our embossing powder here. And we're going to make a really cool card, of course, because all the cards I make are cool, right? Yeah, sure they are, Barb. Oh, except I need a scrap of paper, so bear with me while I find a scrap of white that's big enough for my tree. Well, this will have to work. Okay, so here's a scrap of white. Here is my tree from the Winter Woods stamp set. Here's the Winter Woods stamp set. This stamp set is amazing. If you don't have it, you need it. You should go get it right now from my store. Shoppingwithbarb.com. Anyway, we're going to use the large tree here. And we're going to use Versamark ink to ink it up. Here's my Versamark. And so I like to, when I do Versamark, I lay it so my stamp is facing up. And this is what I tell my customers. I'll say, you want to ink it up. And then when you think you have enough, add some more. Because you really can never have too much Versamark on your stamp. But if you don't have enough, your powder isn't going to stick very good. And then that's going to suck. Ooh, maybe I shouldn't say suck on Facebook Live. Sorry about that, but it really will. And then you just want to make sure when you press it onto your paper, you do press it really well. And then you can peel that off. All right, so we have a little tray here. And now we're going to dump on our homemade embossing powder. So flippin' cool. You guys are going to love this. I was really happy with it when I got done with it. So thank you, Lori. You're my hero. She was my hero before she showed me this, though. She's amazing. She's a rock star. Okay, flick all the excess off. And this is just a little tray that, like I said, Stampin' Up! Used to sell these. And so I had one and I love it. And so I'm not getting rid of it. So any kind of tray you have will work just fine. Okay, so here is what it looks like before we heat it up. Okay, so let's just pretend that I got my heat tool out here and I'm heating that up. Bzzz, it's making a lot of annoying noise. Ooh, buzz, that's a bad word down here. We don't want to say that. So pretend I'm heating that up. And then pretend I went to my Big Shot and I used the coordinating die that comes in the die set. Here are the dies. You have this really cool tree here, the stamped tree, the naked trees, the leaves, the little pine boughs and the pine cones, and then you have this little swoopy, swooshy thing. Okay, so I've just gone to my Big Shot and now I'm back. And look at that awesomeness. Can you guys just see the beauty of that? Now you may be thinking, well, it's blue, Barb, no big deal. But it's not. This is actually the Blueberry Bushel. If you were just to use Blueberry Bushel embossing powder all by itself, this is what you're going to get. But if you mix it with the silver and then add some glitter, oh my word, you're going to get something even more amazing than that. So that is the focal point of our project. And then I have some other little pieces and parts here. So I talked to you about the little swooshy die. Well, here's the swoosh. Get out of there. Let's get out of there, swoosh. So what I did was I just have like a, I think this piece of paper was like 1.25 inches, something like that. And so I laid my swoosh, how did I lay it? Like right across the center of the piece of paper. And then I ran it through the Big Shot. And so now I have this little swooshy that's going to mimic like a hill that my tree is going to be hanging out on. Okay. So next, we're going to do a little bit of embossing with dies. And I'm sure you guys have seen this, but it's amazing. I'm going to show you anyway. So this is the die set that I talked about in the very beginning of my Facebook Live. That is one of the special items for November. It's called the Snowfall Inlets. And it has 20 snowflake dies. I mean, this set has, oh my gosh, so many dies. And you can do lots of cool things with them. You can layer them. You can use them all by themselves. We can layer this one onto this one. We have this little swooshy thing. On the back side here, we've got some little sprigs. And we've got multiples. Like this, you get 3 of this. Actually, it's 2 of the smaller ones, 1 of the big ones. So you get multiple dies. You can also do it in different colors and make flowers out of it. So you don't have to use it for just snowflakes. You can use it for flowers and springtime as well. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to get your Big Shot platform and a cutting pad. And so you're going to make a sandwich like this. So I've got the dies, their cutting blades are up, okay? And I'm just going to take a bunch of these snowflakes and I'm just randomly kind of placing them, again, die side up on my clear cutting pad, like so. And then I'm going to take a piece of balmy blue, which measures what? I'll put these measurements on my blog when I share this stuff. 3.5 by 4 3/4. And you're going to lay it on top of those dies, okay? Then we have a set of embossing mats in the catalog, and they come with this really cool flimsy blue silicone pad. We have a gray one that's a little bit thicker, and then we have this embossing mat. And then you're going to lay the blue silicone pad over your dies. You're going to put your embossing mat on, and you're going to run it through the Big Shot, okay? And then what happens is your paper is embossed. So you have all these really cool embossed snowflakes. Now I went ahead and ran it through again, the exact same process with only 1 die, so I could get a die in the center of this snowflake here. But that is very cool. And these dies, let me shake them off so I don't lose them, are really amazing for this technique. So let me slide all these back into the case, just because if I don't, we all know what'll happen. They'll get lost and I'll have to cry, and I don't want to do that. Come here. Okay. So we have that. We don't need this. Get that in there. And so now all we have to do is like some assembly. So we have our piece of paper there. I'm going to add a couple of dimensionals onto this piece here. So this is our snowy hill. And that's going to go right down here at the bottom of this. I'm going to add my tree with some liquid glue or whatever glue you have. It wouldn't make any difference. My super amazing embossed tree. Yeah, this is so pretty. Okay, and then I'm going to add that to a piece of Whisper White, which is, okay, this was 3.5 by 4 3/4. So this is 3 3/4 by 5. And we'll get that. Thank you, Julie. I appreciate that. And then we have our piece of blueberry bushel here. Get that folded. And then I'm going to cut off about, well, I'm going to leave about 1 1/4 on this panel. So let me cut that off and then I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so I'm actually going to line it up at 5 3/4, I think. Yeah. Okay, so I actually slid the whole thing into my paper trimmer. So this edge was at 5 3/4, and then I cut this piece off. Okay. And so I'm just going to glue this to the side of it. So I only put glue on that one side. That's very important. You don't want to add glue, too much glue, because that's bad. Okay. And then I have another piece of white that's exactly the same as this piece of white here. So it's 3 3/4 by 5. And I'm just going to add that on the inside here so that I can write my sentiment to someone special. Okay, and then the last thing I'm going to do is I have a little strip of white. It's about, I think it's about 1/2 inch. And I've got some blueberry bushel ink. And then I have this Merry Christmas greeting from a stamp set that I can't remember what it's called. I think it's called Starlight or something. It came out last year, but it's just my very favorite Merry Christmas sentiment. I just love the font. I love the size. I just really like it. And so I use it all the time. Okay, so we're going to snip that. And then I'm going to do my little snippy here on the end. get that flagged end there. And then I'm going to try to dry this quickly. And I'm going to kind of use my bone folder to do a little trick. So what I like to do is I like to roll up this end here, roll up this end here, and then roll the center the opposite direction. So I kind of have, it's kind of bowed a little bit. And then I'm just going to add a tiny bit of glue here and a tiny bit of glue here. And I'm just going to add that to my card above my tree. And then the sentiment itself is going to have a little bit of interest because it's not going to be completely flat on there. Can you guys see how that's kind of bumped up a little bit? So it just adds a little bit of interest to the card, which I think is kind of fun. And then my last little thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add some of these fun little metallic pearls. And so I have some here, some silver ones. I have to get out of there. Okay, and what did I do with that? Here we go. Here's my take your pick tool. We've got a little spatula end on here, which is helpful for people with either, you know, fake nails kind of sounds bad, but people that like fake nails sometimes can't grab small things, and people with no nails, such as moi, who can't grab things because they can't get their nail underneath there. And I'm just going to add a few of these to the front of the card just for a little bit of interest. And so there it is. It's done. Just a little bit different kind of fold, a little bit, something a little bit fun. So this is also in the pile for somebody to win the next time I'm live, which will be 2 weeks from today. All right, moving on to our last project. Let me clean up some of this stuff because it gets to be too much when I have too much junk laying around. Then I can't find stuff, and it's just a bad deal. Okay. So this is, where's my sample here? This was a gift that I got at On Stage from my friend Kathy Miller, who is a gal on Kelly's team. She gave me this absolutely fabulous gift, and I thank you so much, Kathy. It's an easel calendar that can sit on your desk, and she used our Statement of the Heart stamp, which I think is amazing. And so I want to recreate this, but I want to recreate it using some different papers, and I'm actually doing it. The girls in my clubs this month are making this calendar, so we're going to make that tonight. Okay, I need my paper trimmer. Here it is. Hopefully there's not going to be too much glare on this thing, because sometimes there is. No, I think it's going to be okay. All right, so I have some pieces of cardstock. So I have a piece of Blackberry Bliss that's 3 3/4 by 10. A piece that's 3 3/4 by 5. A piece of Designer Series paper out of the Country Lane Designer Series paper pack. So here's the other patterns in that package. Fun fallish patterns. I thought this was really fun. And this measures, where's my ruler? I think it's the same, 3.5 by 4 3/4. No, 3 1/4 by 4.5. And then this is 3 1/2 by 4 3/4. Yes. So this is going to be a super fast project, you guys. You'll be able to whip out a ton of these if this is something you want to do as a gift. I think it makes a nice gift for people to have on their desk or, you know, on their kitchen counter. My friend Carol was here this morning making one. She goes, oh, I'm going to put this on my bus. She's a bus driver, so she's going to use hers on the bus. So that's really cool. All right, so our 3 3/4 by 10 piece, we're going to slide it in here. We're going to score it at 5. And the only reason I'm actually scoring it is because a lot of times when you are folding cardstock the long way, the hot dog way, if you don't score it first, it can kind of crackle and it doesn't fold very nicely, I guess, is the thing there. So we're going to just score it in half, and then we're just going to burnish that with my bone folder. Then our 3 3/4 by 5 piece, we're going to bring it into the trimmer and we're going to score it at 1. Okay, and then 2.5 and 4. Okay, we're done with the trimmer. Oops, just about knocked over my soda. Wouldn't that have been cool? Okay, so we're going to fold the center fold one way. Bone folder right here. And then the 2 smaller folds, the 1-inch folds, we're going to fold those up. Okay. So what we're going to end up with is the W. Okay, so you have a W here. I guess you could have an M, but the M is the wrong way to put this together, so you want it to be a W. Okay, so then we're going to add some glue to both sides of the W here. And then we're going to put those inside of this thing we just folded up. so I've got it folded, and I'm going to put the fold line right down here at the bottom edge. All right, I got to get in a little close because my old eyeballs don't want to see that. And then we're just going to fold that down, and then we're just going to close the whole thing. Okay, so then we have our easel calendar. Folds up nicely, easily. And then this piece here, we're just going to add to the front. So we'll just throw some, whoop. Oh, I guess that doesn't matter. I thought, oh my gosh, I just ruined the whole thing. Nah, it's all good. Okay, so we're going to center that as best we can. With these terrible eyeballs that I have. Oh my gosh, can somebody come over here and center this stuff for me? I am struggling hardcore. Maybe I should take my glasses off. Sometimes I work better blind than if I can actually see. Okay, then I have a little piece of glimmer paper that I thought would be kind of fun to stick on there. And my calendar. And I'm using the stamp from the Country Home stamp set that says Simply Thankful for All Good Things. And I went ahead and stamped that on a piece of Whisper White in Blackberry Bliss. And then I die cut it with the, I think it's the second largest stitched oval. And then I used, I think, the number 5 oval scallop. And when I say number 5, it's because I numbered my ovals. The smallest one would be number 1 going out. So number 5 is maybe like the third largest, third or fourth largest, something like that. Okay, so we've got that. We're going to actually add our glimmer paper across the top here after we get the calendar on. So here's our little calendar. Cute little thing. And we'll just stick that down here at the bottom. So when I'm putting this on, I'm just kind of making sure it's equal on all 3 sides, that I see the same amount of designer series paper on all 3 of these sides, okay? Whoops, that's probably not going to be good. And this is going to go up here. So I want my glimmer paper to kind of go across about like that. Is that even? Sometimes I can use my grid paper and I'll line the top of my card up right there. And then if I line this up so I can see that right here is one of my grid lines and here it is, and this is just slightly below. So I think that's pretty straight. Okay, now we need some dimensionals. So we're going to grab a few here. Peel the backings off. And we'll set this, trying to center it again from side to side, and then so basically from here to here and from here to here. And I can see that my little piece of glimmer paper is too long, but that's easily rectified rather than it being too short, because you can't really add any paper back to it, right? Okay, so we've got that done. Then I've got some of our braided linen trim, and this is all I have left of my roll. And so I'm just going to tie a little bow. And so what I do is I just make 2 little bunny ears, cross them, bring the one loop over, and then I just manipulate them, pulling them tight until it's the size that I want. So I already did that here, and I'm going to add that with a glue dot. When all else fails, get into your paper pumpkin stash. Paper pumpkin, we always have excess glue dots. And so we're just going to go ahead and use one of those. Where did you find the calendars? I will post that on my blog when I upload these projects about where I get the calendars. Okay, so we've got that on there. And then the last thing I was going to do is I'm going to add some sequins. So I have to find them again. And I'm going to use the silver ones this time. So I'm just going to add, whoops, clean the tip of the glue off so that when you're actually putting your dots on, they're not like too much come out of there. There's one. There's one. And I think we'll put one right over here, since my bow is on there. I take your pick tool. There is a silver one right there. Ah! Did you see them go flying all over the place? Story of my life. Actually, I think I'm just going to do this, because then I can see what I'm looking for here. How about this one? Okay, so we have our sequins on there. So there it is. And here's the one we did today. We used different colors. So here's my 2 calendars. I thought they turned out pretty good. And, oh, my daughter's down here.
Hi.
So there she is saying hi. Did you guys know she's a state champion? 2-time state champion. One with her relay team and one for the backstroke. So go Jaden. Anyway, so here's my 2 calendars. So yes, whoever, I'm going to pick a winner. You guys will win this one here. So, oops, that was really dumb to touch that before it was dry. Because now my sequin came off. We'll get it back on. Okay, so that's all for Facebook Live tonight, you guys. Please place your orders in my store at shoppingwithbarb.com and use my host code. Like I said, I give away the Glimmer paper. Is my freebie this month for a $50 order. You can always join my team at any time. We have so much fun. We have a private Facebook group. We've got a business builders group. And we just have a lot of fun. And we go to events and stuff like that. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'm back and I'm so excited. And I hope you guys all have a great night. Bye-bye.